Hello, my delicious co-creators. Lilou here on the Juicy Living Tour Europe. Today, you're probably recognizing my guest. It's Mary Diamond. Hello, Mary.
Hello, Lilou. Wonderful to be here with you and all your viewers.
In the Juicy Monaco that you probably have heard of because there is a famous very Grand Prix here happening and all those beautiful yachts, and it's quite a wealthy country, a very small, tiny, dense, wealthy country.
It is, yeah, and wonderful people here and a lot of very spiritual people actually. Yes. Very interesting to find that here. Yeah.
Very giving, generous, tying.
Very tying and very, huge charity, I would say, parties and moments. And, the wealthy people always know that they have to give back to the world. And and very heartfelt people here. Very surprising when I came here first, yeah.
You were featured in The Secret. You have seen probably The Secret, the Law of Attraction. You were the Feng Shui expert.
Yes, I was. And
Feng Shui or Feng Shui?
Well, whoever you want to say works for me. Feng Shui means wind and water. So it's really about the flow of energy. And so in The Secret, I actually brought forward the aspect of the environment, how the environment actually affects your law of attraction. And I remember when we had several questions, and that Rhonda Byrne, who is the producer of the movie, said, I was talking about the environment and the story about the man that looks kind of like, a woman kind of looks like this and say, I'm not interested in you. And she said, nobody's talking about it. I said, no, it's part of the law of attraction is how your environment is actually affecting you. Because, 95% of our subconscious is influencing us. But your environment is actually all the images, the colors, the way you position yourself is actually affecting your subconscious mind. And she was just totally like, wow, my God, you're going to be in this movie. And I said, of course I'm going to be in this movie. I've been putting it on my vision board. I'm going to be in a movie. I will transform the world. And it was my first ever TV interview, so it was really interesting. And we became very wonderful friends. And
obviously you reached millions through that.
We reached, I think, some people say more than 500 million people have seen it, or perhaps have read the book. It has been translated in so many languages.
Thanks to Oprah as well. I remember I was there in the audience that day when she aired the show. It was you could feel in the air something was happening.
Yeah, it was definitely a major point, and it was so interesting because Rhonda wanted to really be on Oprah, so she asked me to come into her apartment in the office to make sure that Oprah was in the right place, the publisher had it in the right place. I did the Feng Shui at the time from more than half of the people in The Secret, and everybody got their little things from me. I couldn't be part of it. I was stuck in Europe for some other things to work on, but I definitely was supported with some good Feng Shui tips that would go in Oprah, and it was an amazing success. And it was actually time. I think it was time for the world to know this. And what I like about Rhonda, she has a major vision, and it's called Joy to Billions. It was a lot of people were saying, well, they did a great marketing, and I have to tell you, she had no idea how to market this, but she had a vision, and so had all the teachers in the Secret. So it was like a combination of 24 teachers that had a great vision of a great heart for the world, and I think it was like an ideal, perfect moment, and I was happy to be attracting into it and supporting it with my work. Yeah.
And it's true, when we brainstorm or when we get together and we regroup our forces and the intention, it multiplies, doesn't it?
It is an exponential energy, definitely. And the people that were in The Secret, or are still in The Secret, of course, were there forever, right?
Yay!
It's a classic now, isn't it? I call it the Casablanca of movie of the self-help, right? We're forever, Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman. But it's still today. It's just so helping people. I mean, we still get so many emails from all over the world. People asking. For me, they always email me on romance for some reason, of course, because I'm talking about romance. But it's just
Or money, huh?
no, romance is a thing. Yeah, they always want me to. I'm lonely, or this relationship didn't go well. So, but it's all about giving to humanity and supporting them to have a better life. In whatever way we can help them with, and everyone's in the secret is really still very generous in their time and support for the humanity. Yeah.
Let's go into romance, shall we? Because since you brought it up, I think it's an excellent thing to see how it works, how the law of attraction. Just tell us how you see the law of attraction.
Yeah. Well, how I bring forward the law of attraction is that there are three aspects to the law of attraction. So the first one is your heavenly luck, is your spiritual connection. I say it's your connection with your soul, and it's actually how your soul came on this planet. And your soul came with already a law of attraction package. It came with a package of your parents, it came with a package of your community, your country, your race and culture. You have already some programs in there. And we can actually change that part by meditating and praying and forgiving, forgiving the ancestors and forgiving the leaders that perhaps have made some decisions in your country. You actually can let go of that, and then you're not so much with that heavy, I would say, baggage on your shoulders. Burden sometimes, yeah, for sure, in certain areas and certain countries. And the second part is what we call the human luck. And the human luck is really about your law of attraction of how you think, how you feel, and how you do things. And in the self-help, for example, in Secret, they really focus on that part. And they're saying, well, if you think this way, thoughts, feelings, actions, say that's great. But it's according to the Chinese Feng Shui masters, it's only 33%. And your soul connection is also 33%. So it's still only 66. And let's be honest, we don't have a full 33% there because we don't always think right, and we don't feel right, and we don't always do right. We make mistakes. And it's hard every day to keep being focused. And so when then I learned first the spiritual part, and I learned the human part. When I was 15, I actually started understanding about the physical part, the environmental luck. And I already was practicing law of attraction at about 7, and I was meditating, I was praying. Oh my God, I was a role model as a teenager, and I was a good girl and being helpful and supportive for everyone. And I had a major car accident. I was run over by a truck, and I had a near-death experience.
Tell us a little bit about that, because lately I've done a couple of near-death experiences.
The near-death experience was I went to the light, through the tunnel, and there was all beings of light there, and they said it's not your time, and you have to go back, and you are here to reach more than 500 million people to enlighten them. So I came back with that sentence. I had no idea what that actually meant.
You got it from there?
Yeah, I got it from there. And
from here, there.
The universe, right? Wherever that might be. Yeah. And so I came back, and I was like, I'm 15, I'm in school, right? So I had no idea how to do it. And I had some major problems. I was very wounded, and I had major concussion, and I actually couldn't barely memorize things anymore. So suddenly from a straight A student, I became actually a straight F student. And so it was a big shock for me. And then my spiritual teacher, I already had since I was 7, said it's time for you to meditate.
Wait, you had a spiritual teacher, so you were raised in a spiritual family, you came from the family. How did that connection happen?
Actually, that master appeared to me and came to me when I was 7. When you're ready, the master appears.
In physical form?
In physical form, yes. And so when I was 15, he was already guiding me. He said, but why did that happen? I've been such a good girl. I've been thinking well, feeling well, doing all the charity I could in the world. He said, oh, Marie, you have bad feng shui. And I'm like, what does that mean? What is that word? He said, well, you're in the wrong room, wrong wallpaper, you're sleeping the wrong direction. I hated that bedroom, to be honest. It was the bedroom of my sister. I didn't like it. There was something wrong with it. I tried to go to sleep as late as possible, wake up as early as possible, and get out of that room. He said, you need this color, and you need to have another room. So I changed actually to the bedroom of my older brothers that already moved out of the house. And it was very interesting because I was a very lonely girl. Even I was just really a good role model. I was bullied at school, sometimes beaten up at school. And suddenly the bullies became my friends. And I had my first love, right? And I did hang other images, and I painted it orange because I love orange. And so suddenly I came out of this dark room into this wonderful sunny room. And my whole life changed. I still had health problems, and I still had problems in memorizing things, but oh my God, I felt so much better. So it was the first time I experienced how Feng Shui works if you change your environment, how my mindset changed, and how my heart feelings changed, and how things started just shifting. And from that day on, I had some basic principles. I kept doing this, and I became a lawyer, and I kept practicing all the information I had. And at 30, I stopped being a lawyer and started becoming a spiritual teacher, and started teaching meditation that I've been trained in since I was 7, and bringing Feng Shui to the world, and understanding that it was, if we connect with the heavenly luck, and we connect with our soul and our lights and the love that we have, and we're supporting us with our environment, then our thoughts, feelings, and actions are supported both from heaven and from the earth. And then your thoughts are much more easier to change, and your feelings are much more loving, and your actions are, easier and more effortless. So a lot of people are doing law of attraction, and they're trying so hard here and so hard here and so hard in their actions. Nothing is happening because they are not aligning heaven, human, and the earth energy. And when that is aligned, then it's so much easier. So I remember, you all know Jack Canfield, one of the major ones. And I can tell the story because he tells the story. So he was in a time where things were not going that easy. He was very successful with the Jigsaw of the Soul, but, things were not going that easy for him business-wise. And so I come in his office and say, but Jack, you're with your back to the door. This is wrong. This is wrong. So I changed.
You're the one that told him.
Yeah. He had to redo everything in his home, right? And I attracted him in, and he attracted me in, probably. And thanks to him, I'm sure, it's one of the reasons I'm in the secret. But the wonderful thing was that he, did all the things. And I said to him, what do you want to be? He said, well, I've been an author, but I want to be a teacher. So I redesigned everything to be a teacher. And he said, I want to be more globally renowned. So I put strategically globes out, make globes. And he had to spin on it every day to make the energy flow. And after a year, his wife called me and said, can we stop spinning these globes? He's never home anymore. He's traveling now the whole world. And so, because his focus was globally instead of being in the USA more. And so things just completely started shifting for him, and he became the teacher, and he got into the secret, and now he's, one of the top teachers of the law of attraction, of course. So the same thing happened with Rhonda Byrne, actually. Things were not going anywhere with the secret, and she was...
Interesting. I thought it all clicked.
No. And sometimes people call me the secret behind the secret because...
I love it. We have the secret behind the secret.
Yeah, that's kind of my nicknames. And so I came into her apartment in LA where she was living, and I said, Rhonda, nothing can happen here. You're sleeping the wrong direction. The DVD is not out. And so we redesigned, and I redesigned also the publisher, actually, their offices, and I redesigned so that the flow was actually perfect for them. And I said to her, the law of attraction cannot work if there's no law of attraction happening in your home, in your office. Because how can you manifest things in the world if the first layer where you need to manifest something is where you live, is where you work, where you sleep, is the wrong thing. It's not aligned. How can things go beyond that? So, and then I said to her, what do you really, really want people to do with the law of attraction, with the secret? And she said, well, I want them to share it with their friends. And I said, have you shared it with their friends? She said, well, yeah. She said, I want them to share it with other people in the world. I said, have you shared it with other people? So we took 100 DVDs, and for a few weeks we went out in LA, and we just started giving the DVDs away. And it's exactly what has happened. Perhaps you have done the same thing. You got the secret and you bought 10 DVDs and or 10 books, and you gave it away. And I've been hearing this over and over again, because I said align your environment, because the secret would not have happened, the success, without them aligning their soul. She was definitely connect with her soul in meditation, prayer. She was definitely thinking the right way, feeling and doing the right way, but her environment was not doing the right way, and not feeling the right way, and being the right way. And so as alignment happened, just everything started clicking in. And of course, several people of this in the secret are also have been aligning their offices, and we're in the same flow. Yeah.
And it happens the same way in relationships.
It does. It totally does. So one of the things that people do is they connect in with the law of attraction, personalized. So you have everyone based on your birthday, you have a number. And you can actually, we have even, I can hope we can mention an app where they can actually go to the law of attraction number in the iPhone. And you can actually figure out your birthday and what is your law of attraction for your success, your health, relationship, and wisdom. And your relationship, there's an aspect in your home, a direction. For example, for me, it's west, and I'm actually facing west right now, so it's perfect. I don't know what's yours, but
7.
You're 7 in law of attraction?
I don't know law of attraction, but in numerology.
Well, we have the 7th floor here. Isn't that great? Yeah.
I know, I saw that. Yeah. And your room too, 7-11. I'm like, ooh, I'm liking this more and more. I love the number 11. Oh my God.
May I know your birthday? Openly?
Yeah, sure. The 20th of August, 77.
7. Oh, that's why you like 7. So.
And I'm a number 7 too.
Okay, so your success direction is actually southeast. So Monaco is that's the southeast of this country, but your relationship is south for you. Yeah. So in your bedroom, you need to take a little compass, and you need to face, and that's for everybody different. So you have to look it up, and you look at your take a compass from the center. You look where it is in the south. In the south corner or in the south area of the wall. And whatever is there is affecting you 24 hours a day on your relationship. So if you have an image there of a woman alone, or a little candle alone, or books on loneliness, right? So it actually tells that's what you want. At night you're sleeping and that's what you're getting. So in the south you need to have some romantic images, but romantic means with 2, right? Not with 4 or 5. Unless you want that.
I'm already in a couple, so I'm not, but I'm saying this for everybody,
So
and also I guess even when we're in a relationship, we need to also optimize the bedroom.
Picture of you with your partner, you put it in that corner, 2 little candles, books on romance. So you place it there, colors that are very good for romance, or rose, of course, reds are very good. So anything that just, it gives that warm feeling. Yeah. You put it there. And
maybe that's why I painted one of the walls red framboise.
Oh, that could be. Perhaps it's in the south. You never know. So you have that. But also when people walk into their home, when you walk into your home, what is the first thing you're seeing? Because it's like coming from the outside universe and you come into a more personalized universe, personalized quantum field. And then what's the first thing you see? Is that a lonely woman? Or is it like a Buddha who is meditating? I mean, Buddha is wonderful if you're spiritually, but he's not very romantic, right? So he's not focused on that, right? So
it may be somewhere else in the house where he'll have his perfect energy for.
It's like what we call the wisdom direction. Is like, where's the wisdom? He's a wisdom symbol. It could be even on the success level. If you want have a spiritual practice, then it could be in a relationship. Or people, you come in and they have all angels, and I say angels don't make love. They have no physical connection. Or I come in people's bedrooms and they're like, have all these angels around, and said, not a lot happening here, isn't it? And they're like, no, but it's so loving and we're so tender. Yeah, but nothing is happening.
No action.
No action here, right? So it's one of these things that every symbol that you have around you is constantly influencing who you are. Yeah. It's constantly influencing your subconscious mind. So I always say to people, you walk through your home and just everywhere you see, make sure there's no single images or single people.
Yeah. Or wherever it is in the home, I guess, anything that feels difficult or negative, or change things around, move things around until it feels good.
Yeah, it's like, I remember I was walking into somebody's apartment, and just before you go in the bedroom, there was this image and it says victim. I mean, it was like, victim. I'm like, Is that what you attract? Is that what you always want? And there was another person she was very Catholic, and she had images of Jesus at the last hours, hanging on the cross, just before she walked into her bedroom with the thorn crown above her bed. And I said, I understand you love Jesus, but to be honest, I wouldn't put it in your bedroom. Yeah. And she said, it's so interesting. Men walk up on the staircase with me, and the moment they come upstairs, they're saying, let's just stay friends. That has happened 5 times. And I said to her, well, if you would just pass your bedroom, you're like, I better not go in. I don't know if I get alive out of there, right? Because you open the door and you see a man with a crown, It
might have nothing to do with their own religious belief. It's just that it's the symbolic of it.
I said there are other places where you would pray, for example, where you want to connect with Jesus. What is a better connection, right? Not above your bedroom. And she took that away and put it in a place where she was really doing her religious practice. And she called and she said, I haven't had romance in 12 years. And the last man that I had romance with just called me last week. We have again a date. She said,
this time we're going in the bedroom.
And I said to her, well, we'll see what happens. And actually they got married, And I said to her, well, I hope you did hang beautiful images instead. She said, yeah, I looked for something. I said, it's a message. Your home is a 3-dimensional vision board. Mm-hmm. You have to think it this way. Mm-hmm. Because people make these vision boards, right? But I said, everything around you is a 3-dimensional vision board. Mm-hmm. So if people...
It has a vibration, it's a reminder.
It's a reminder. It's like somebody said, my work, my business is not going well. And I look around his office, couldn't really find anything. I said, can you just put on your computer screen? And on his computer screen is a desert, an image of a desert, sunset in the desert. And I said, is that what you see every morning? You go to your computer. He said, yeah, are you in the sand business or something? He said, no, I'm not. And I said, well, then that's not a good image for you. And I said, yeah, I'm in the music industry. And I said, well, and he had won many Emmys. So before that, he was really very successful. And suddenly it dried up. I mean, it's a desert, right? I said, how long have you the screensaver up? I said, yeah, for 2 years. How has been your business in 2 years? Dried up. It's like people say, I'm fin de carrière. I'm at the end of my career. Because you're on the sunset in the desert, right? So he changed it, made images of his Emmys, put it on. He created a little vision board and a screensaver. And the year after, he won another Emmy. So it was like, what are you reminding yourself all the time of? It's not just here it happens all around you. So when you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you see? When you open the door, what's the first thing you see? You come in your living room, what's the first thing you see? Everybody sees that for you. Every visitor sees that for you. You see it all the time, okay? People are coming out from the outside world, coming through the laundry, going to the garage. I said, queens and kings, wealthy people don't go to the laundry inside. They open the front door. It's a beautiful place, beautiful flowers. I said, act like a king, act like a queen in your life, and don't come into chaos. Make it shiny, make it beautiful, uplift it. Yeah. It's just, they're small little things, but you will feel uplifted, and then your law of attraction will work better.
There's a big component of it, from my understanding, is the receiving. It's beautiful to give to others, but you have to be willing to receive all those beautiful things and give that to yourself within your own home.
It is, your home is a receiving part. It's a giving part and a receiving part. And so I remember, many years ago, I was in San Francisco, and this beautiful couple. And, they were just saying to me, the law of attraction doesn't work. And I said, how is your apartment? Can I come and visit it? And I said, no, you can't come. There's no way to even pass through the hallway. There are boxes everywhere. And I said, why don't you clear this out first? So I said, I'm coming in a month, and your home should be fine. And they worked on it, and in that month, they had both new jobs, both new experiences, new opportunities. They said, thank God you came to visit us, because they opened space. Yeah. We have to understand the universe can only come in. And I say, it's always like, we ask this request to the universe, and we have this universal FedEx airplane that wants to drop, these little things, little gifts to us, but there's no space to receive. There's no space in your bookcase, there's no space in your closet, there's no space in your bed, there's no space inside anywhere. It's like, what do you do? The FedEx airplane cannot drop the luggage or the package for you. So open up the energy. And sometimes opening up the energy is not just outside of you, it's also inside of you, that you are holding on to so much old stuff, and you are, angry about the past, and you're sad about the past. The power of forgiveness is a really important piece. And if you have a hard time in doing that, I always say use the color violet. Violet is the color of forgiveness, and just visualize that you have violet energy coming from your feet through your body, like clockwise, and just let it go. Just let it go. And if you have a hard time letting go, use wear a little bit more violet, and put some violet candles up and lit them and say, I'm going to release a little bit of my pain today. Because if you release some of the pain, some of the joy can come back in. And a lot of people are just so in their personal drama, and I understand life can be really tough, but you have to create space for joy. And I know you're bringing this to people, so wonderful you're doing that.
Yeah, no, I'm all about, that's why the tour is called the Juicy Living Tour. Living a juicy, fun life, vibrant life, a life that is full of passion and purpose, and that we can, so it's certainly, I'm seeing it every day, how wonderful the gifts are from the universe, but I'm also seeing, and maybe we can have this conversation on the goals and the intention and how those are important too, because it feels like when we're in alignment with our heart and our beingness, things come to us even bigger than we can dream of, and it feels sometimes that goals are not really necessary, tangible goals, or they can be like, I want to be happy and joyful and live an abundant life and empower people, millions of people every day. But this is not, but being more precise is not always useful, is it?
Well, I have learned to look at the universe as it is a mathematician. He likes numbers. The universe, or she, we don't know what it is, of course. He or she loves numbers. And at the same time, the word all is a number. Infinity is a number. When you do mathematics, there's the infinity symbol. So I would say, if you ask something, ask for all. But in certain cases, it's good to be a little bit more tangible, because all is sometimes too big to think about for people. And saying, well, I want wealth, but what is wealth? I want abundance. I want this kind of thing, but I want happiness, but it's not tangible to us. And as it's sometimes not tangible for us, it's hard to get, because you have to imagine you're the universe, you're God within you. So if you cannot understand what you're saying, it's not tangible for you.
You cannot feel it.
You cannot feel it and get around it. It's like it's too big for you. So I would say have a big goal, but kind of put it in steps too. It's like you say, I want to be abundant, but what is abundant right now for you? Could be $1,000 more, okay? Could be having a more beautiful home. Could be having more friends. Could be, what is it for you? Make it more tangible. That's why they, for example, would say, well, what's the next 6 months or next 5 years, or what's the end of your life? What would you like to accomplish? I have my accomplishing big goal, but I always would say when you make a tangible goal, always put in and beyond and more. So you don't limit yourself, and you say to the universe, I put this tangible goal, but hey, I'm ready for more too. I'm ready for beyond what I am thinking I'm ready, right? So open up the space as much as you can in your goals. And the word goal, as I said, is always go all, right? Go all the way. And I remember when I was young, I wrote things down, and I thought like, I was 15 when I would make my first really extensive goal plan, right? And, it sometimes takes years to meet, because there's agendas that have to align. Your agenda, my agenda had to align to be together. We have similar goals, probably. We want to reach a lot of people, but perfect timings need to happen too. And perfect place has to happen too. And I believe that if you have that surrender, also knowing that it will be on the right time, and just each time then that invitation comes, don't say no to things that you're thinking, wow, this is not according to my goal, but a little first step can open the next door to that big goal. You know, there's so many times it has happened that I was like, does not really connect with the goal I want to do, but hey, it comes to me, there's perhaps a reason for it. And I went there, or I met that person, and that person said, oh, yeah, here, that's the connection, right?
Yeah.
That's what you need to do. And that's all how it works. You just keep continuing being in the flow of actions coming to you. And don't push things away, even if they don't look like it's connect with your goal. You know, it's like, I remember somebody about romance. We did the Feng Shui, and I said to her a few months later, I said, how things have been doing, you know, in the romance? She said, well, I only got invitations to very boring parties. I said, how did you know they were boring? Well, you know, these people that invited me, you know, I don't really like them. I said, why didn't you go? Because it could be that that party brings you to a bigger party. And she looked at me, she said, I said, what's the next invitation? She said, well, it's my sister. And she has been asking me so many times for barbecues, and I just never want to go. It's my sister, right? Who can I have romance with that she knows? And I said to her, get in the flow. So she went, and there was a new friend of a friend that came along by coincidence that day. She got married with it, right? It's just, if the door opens up, don't push it away. Get in the door. Check it out. Could be it leads to something much bigger and much more beautiful than you can imagine.
Love. Before and anything else, it's really loving ourselves, huh?
Yeah, I think that's the major one, is love. And I always say the word love and law is just the same thing. Perhaps, you know, I'm a lawyer from background, and I always say a lawyer should be a lover, right?
That would be wonderful.
You know, loving humanity, right? But I think that's a major law. It's loving yourself, loving others, and always start with that intention. And it's, of course, not always easy to love everyone, but I always try to walk on this planet with a smile on my face and my eyes twinkling, and
you mean it.
And meaning it. Yes.
You feel it. I mean, when we're in contact with you here, I can feel that you're authentic, you're in your heart, you're doing it, you're loving it, you're generous with your words. I mean, it's easy to detect. And we have to detect people that are on similar vibrations, because there are some tricks too, but no, we have to feel it from the heart. It's a heart connection.
It is a heart connection. But also for the people that do not have the heart connection, that their heart has closed off because, you know, they were in dramas or in traumas, and they have been through rough times. And it's very interesting. We all have been through rough times, but we came on the other end out of it. And so be in love and be loving to the ones that cannot be in love with themselves. Because then something is a little seed that you plant for them, you know. It was so interesting because a few days ago I was in Frankfurt, you know, in my traveling, and there was this woman, and she was very disturbed with her child. Was crying in the elevator. I was with my smile on and my eyes twinkling, and I was like, and I was just, I could feel she could not love her child right now, that moment, you know, and that child probably could feel it, and she was frustrated. And so I was like, okay, you cannot love your child right now for whatever reason. I'm not judging you, but I'm loving your child right now. And I sensed such wonderful, loving vibration of the child, and the child was like, ooh, and stopped right away. And then I smiled.
Feels good.
Yes, I love this. And then the woman looked at me and said, it's okay. It's okay. And she was like, she could feel like, you know, and then she was loving again to her child. So it's like sometimes we have to share the love that others cannot feel at that moment, and just put a little seed there, right there. And, you know, the law of attraction cannot be a selfish law of attraction. I think one of the things I see sometimes, law of attraction, people are like, I want the money, I want the car, I want this, and said, yeah, but it's an impact.
Where is it now?
Yeah, my things, right? It's a law of impact. I believe the law of attraction is a law of impact. I always say to people, how many people do you want to impact with your purpose? How many people? I've never thought about numbers in money in my life. I always thought about numbers in people to attract, to connect with, to share my love. And I think it's a law of impact. And I think that's one of the things why The Secret has become so successful, because Rhonda Byrne was behind The Secret, and the teachers in The Secret had, they were not thinking in numbers of finances first. They were thinking in numbers of love. We just were doing an interview. We had no idea this was going to be big. We just were doing an interview, right? And because we love sharing our...
Thank God, otherwise you might have been really, really nervous then.
Oh my God, I would have been terrified. I had done 2 hours meditation before I did the interview. Actually, I was really nervous before. But the thing is, we just want to share and support people. You know, the people in the world that are very, you know, the names that people know, their purpose is to help. Their purpose is to help transform. And they have big numbers of transformation in their head and their hearts, because they know it's the only way how we're going to change the world. And perhaps you're saying, but I don't know anyone. Yeah, you know at least 10 people. Try to be loving to 10 people, and the world will change.
Yeah, or if you're baking cakes and you love making little cupcakes, then they're gonna have 100 people eating those cakes every day.
It's the focus is really on the impact you're going to make in the world. And
So it's even beyond the eating. It's they're gonna be so rejuvenated and filled with love out of eating those little cupcakes.
yeah, they will be energized. They will be loved. You know, they feel...
Talk to their friends about it.
Yeah. It's like, go for the impact that you're making. Don't go for what you receive. The impact is the giving. And then you'll receive the impact back.
Because then you have a whole creative level. Then you're like, well, then I'll go and bring 10 cupcakes to the hospital of kids with cancer. Or I will then, you know, it's a whole other conversation.
It's a whole other conversation. And like connecting with you, my whole thing is, I can impact so many million people by connecting with Lilou. And give them perhaps a little hint or a little insight or a little moving forward in their lives. And so I'm gladly giving my time for that. Why not? Because that's what we do. We have that constant passion for sharing a message that perhaps can help and uplift people.
And again, you trust that because you visualize and you see your 500 million plus people that you're impacting, then you know that whoever you're going to encounter, or you're checking in inside also, I guess, but whatever's in alignment with that, or even whoever you meet then becomes part of that.
It is. Everyone that you virtually meet, or everyone that you also physically meet, that you're seeing. Like this morning I was in the hotel, eating breakfast, and there was this woman and a man. I could see they were a little bit, in difficulties with each other, and a little conflict there going on the breakfast table. And I was just, I was like, just sending her some love. And she turned around and she looked at me and she smiled, and she was like, and I just smiled. I was like, oh, it's okay. It was like, and the man was just, but I could feel she kind of got my light already, my love already. Now, I don't know her name. You don't have to know her name. You just know at that moment you made a little difference, perhaps 1 second. And 1 second is enough. If people 1 second make a good choice, perhaps the rest of their life will be better. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the major focus we need to have is, and it's actually a practice really to walk the earth and to have always this light smile on your face and to have a twinkling in your eyes. And of course there are moments that's a little bit harder, right? And then you just sit down and pray and meditate and you say, no, get back into my alignment and move forward again.
And what's beautiful is that then you start to see it everywhere. You see even a flower or the wind, or it could be anything that reminds you of this magic, and it raises your vibration automatically. I mean, it can become an automatic thing.
It is an automatic thing.
It's part of us too, of course.
Yeah, but it becomes an automatic experience. But I'm not saying after a week. Don't say after a week, it has to be happening. I always say to people, at least, try, and you have a fall back. You go back and you fall back and you go back in it, and until you kind of become it and be it more and more. And then you see people, you will attract people, and you're like, how will these people come to you? Well, because your vibration has been on a certain level and you have been maintaining it, and then people just show up. And it has been magical in my life ever since I started deciding this is what I'm here for. And
very inspiring.
And yeah, it's lovely.
Thank you so much for this inspiration, for your joy, and all that you brought to this beautiful global conversation, transforming people all around the world. You're part of the TLC.
Yes, I'm part of the Transformational Leadership Council. I'm also presiding the European chapter, and it's wonderful to see so many transformation happening in the business world, majorly right now, in the entertainment industry, in the charity industry, the self-help. It's all around us. I think the buzzword right now is transformation, and
It's happening.
it is totally happening. I'm just so excited for this time. This was the time to be,
Yeah.
not like 200 years ago. This is the time to be right now.
You have books. Let's tell everybody watching right now the name of your books. I think one is coming out. Has come out, or
No, there's one coming out called The Transformation Principles. It's like, what are the transformation principles you need to have to transform your life? It's one of them. And they can of course go to mariediamond.com, and on the website there are home study courses and virtual programs and my own radio and TV show, and
successful radio show.
and the Law of Attraction Radio Network. And it's a major thing is it's finding a balance between the giving and the receiving part. And so if people want more about the diamond feng shui and the inner diamond meditation, it's all there, and I'm looking forward to, and actually they can always sign up for transformation messages, and so they get wonderful new little quotes every day to connect in with who they are.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you so much. Thank you, my beautiful co-creators, for watching the Juicy Living Tour unfold. I know it's exciting. We have so many good guests. I'm so thrilled. The universe is sending them. Ta-dam! I'm just receiving. Up. We're here and sending you much love. Thank you for sharing them on your Facebook, everywhere. Big kiss. Bye.